yo.
Good morning, Angela Yee.
Hey, good morning, DJ Envy.
It's Tuesday, and welcome back. We've been greeted by some snow, a whole lot of snow.
Not here, not in the city, not in Brooklyn.
Oh, in Jersey, a whole lot of snow.
In Brooklyn, there's no snow on the ground at all.
Oh, no, Jersey's already crazy. We got about, I would say about 4 or 5 inches already. Kids' school is delayed 90 minutes because of that.
Now, that's the third nor'easter in 10 days.
Right.
On the East Coast.
It's pretty nasty. And you know what? As a man, the worst thing you want to leave at home is your wallet. I left my wallet at home today. I don't have nothing.
Don't ask me for nothing.
I got money.
I ain't got it.
I got money, but I ain't got no license.
Okay.
I ain't got no credit cards. I ain't got nada.
Well, I got to start off the show today by saying rest in peace to Craig Mack.
Craig Mack, absolutely.
Only 46 years old, and Craig Mack did pass away. I didn't even know he had any type of illness or anything.
You didn't know Craig Mack was still alive.
Oh, you gotta turn your mic on.
Yeah, Charmaine, he just run in here and start screaming.
Oh no, I said you didn't even know Craig Mack was still alive.
Well, I knew he had gotten deeply religious. Yeah, and that's why he stopped doing music.
They said something about he might have been in a cult down south somewhere. I got a funny Craig Mack story. We used to make fun of him all the time, right?
Well, that's nice.
I'm gonna tell you. So we'd be like, oh, you uglier than Craig Mack, or something's uglier than Craig Mack.
That was a fact. Craig Mack was the example of ugly for a long time. God bless the dead.
Well, this whole rest in peace is going
Well,
low.
I'm gonna tell you a story. So one morning, I get to the station, and it's like I used to get to the station like 4:30 in the morning, and there was a guy outside with a hoodie on.
There you go.
And he wanted that same energy.
Same energy right now. Now you about to see what ugly do in the morning. What's up?
He wanted that same smoke.
Yes.
Yep. And
I ain't mad at Craig. Drop one of Clues bombs for Craig Mack.
he hit me right outside the station. He said, "Who's ugly?"
My phone was ringing at 4:30 this morning. I'm looking. It's June Balloon. I'm like, June don't call me.
Well, that's June. That's that Craig Mack bad boy.
Exactly. I'm like, June don't call me. And then I get the text that Craig Mack passed away.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
But Craig wanted that same energy that morning.
Okay.
So he beat you up, or he just?
No, we had a conversation. We laughed about it and all that, but yeah.
So he showed up just to have a
Pressed you. Your
conversation.
energy changed.
Oh yeah, my energy definitely changed. You ever say in front of somebody, you ugly? Craig is jokes. Craig is jokes. He said, "Nah, you know, I get it." And then he gave me his new single back then.
Oh, rest in peace to Craig Mack.
Rest in peace to Craig Mack.
I'm not even gonna sit here and it's not gonna be none of that. Craig Mack was one of the greatest MCs of all time, and all. You know how people get when people pass. I was not thinking about Craig Mack.
He launched Bad Boy's career.
Did he?
Yes,
Flavor in Your Ear was-
Flavor in Your Ear was
yeah.
the
I thought it was
first
kind of a
record.
mix. I thought it was kind of a mixture of him and Big.
No,
Remember
it
they
was-
had the Big Mac
I think-
promo
It
back
was
in
the
the
I
day.
think Flavor in Your Ear
It
came
was
out
the
first.
It was
That
the
was
first
the first
release.
hit.
Okay.
It was the first release. They
And,
did the
also-
remix, and then they did Get Down, and that was it.
The founder of Givenchy died. One of the founders too.
Really?
I definitely
Yeah.
don't know nothing about that.
Well, I'm just telling you because I know a lot of people wear Givenchy.
I don't. I don't know what that is. What is that?
It's a
That sell out in
brand.
Target? I know Mossimo.
They don't sell out in
Mossimo
Target
no
now,
more.
no.
They sell Goodfellas now.
No, they don't sell in Target.
Givenchy.
It's a high end line. You usually see the pit bull on the face or the stars. You see the stars that people wear, you know, figure.
Yeah, I don't know nothing
He
about
does know
that.
what it is.
Is that's 21 Savage and Offset's album cover, right? No, it's not.
No.
It is a dog on the album cover, though.
All right,
know what?
but anyway, rest in peace to both of those people.
Absolutely. All right, now Little Yachty will be joining us for a little bit. We'll kick him with Little Yachty.
I
He
know
has
he's
an
going
album
to
out
be really
right now.
excited to be here.
I'm
I doubt
sure
it.
he will be.
I seriously doubt it. Highly doubt it.
And also, Angela Yee's Detox Doctors.
Oh, yes. The doctors who I did the detox now with, I did that 14-day detox. Absolutely no solid food at all. No juices or anything, just water and coconut water and herbal supplements.
Okay, we got a new family member joining us this morning, 99.1 and 99.3 The Vibe.
Where that's at?
That's in, it's in Alabama, right? In Alabama, hey, Alabama.
Goosebumps for Alabama, damn it.
The new home for hip hop and R&B in Anniston. Is Anniston and Gaston? Did I say that right? Anniston and Gaston. Good morning, guys.
It's amazing
In
how
Alabama.
radio stations nowadays, like, you know, back in the day, it used to be like two names. It'd be like The Beat,
Right.
or Jams,
Mhm.
or Hot.
Right.
And the Powers came along, now it's the Vibes and the Swags, and it's changing.
Yeah, it's changing.
Yeah,
The words
yeah.
are changing a little bit. All right, let's get the show cracking. Front page is what we're talking about, Easy.
Let's talk about Betsy DeVos. She did a 60 Minutes interview, and what did you think about it? Everybody is going in on her.
Okay, we'll get into all that when we come back. Keep it locked. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. JNV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club.
What's happening?
Let's get in some front page news. What are we talking about first, Yee?
Well, let's talk about Betsy DeVos. Now, this is our education secretary, and it seems like she doesn't know too much. She went on 60 Minutes, and she attempted to speak about diverting money from public schools to chartered schools and private schools, and she also talked about the school systems in Michigan and how to prevent future mass shootings. Here are some of her interviews. It seems like she was stuck.
Have the public schools in Michigan gotten better?
I don't know overall, I can't say overall that they have all gotten better.
The whole state is not doing well.
Well, there are certainly lots of pockets where the students are doing well.
Have you seen the really bad schools? Maybe try to figure out what they're doing?
I have not intentionally visited schools that are underperforming.
Maybe you should.
Maybe I should.
She doesn't seem.
Hello?
She doesn't seem to be too educated to be the education secretary.
This is crazy to me. Now, they also asked her about preventing future mass shootings in the schools, and she said, I don't think assault weapons carried in schools carried by any school personnel is the appropriate thing, but again, I think this is an issue that is best decided at the local level by communities and by states.
I definitely think armed security with assault rifles would be a good thing for the schools. And it's just like when you walk through the airport and you see the people there with the military weapons.
Well, now here she also tweeted out after the interview, because she got a lot of slack from it. She said, here's what we shared with 60 Minutes, which of course they didn't show you. Michigan, like much of the nation, isn't doing well enough to prepare students. Scores are stagnant. Students need more options, and we must rethink our approach to education. Then she tweeted, also missing from 60 Minutes, students at charter schools in Detroit are doing 2 times better than their peers. The reforms are helping, but there's so much more to do. We must help all students be prepared for strong futures.
You can't tell a state that they need to change their approach as far as education when you're the education.
You haven't even gone to go visit the schools that need the help.
Yeah, you're the education director. Like, you can be the change that you want to see in the world. You have that power to do that, Ms. Betsy DeVos.
Now, she also said that she has never watched 60 Minutes before. She said, but I can tell you this, I will never watch it again. I have better things to do with the half hour of my time. She also said her interviewer, Leslie Starr, is a practitioner of gotcha journalism at its worst, and that it was very unfair of her to ask me so many questions about education.
The only DeVos I acknowledge.
Aren't you the education secretary? What do you think you're talking about?
Crazy.
The only DeVos I acknowledge is Ronnie. Okay?
My name is Betsy DeVos.
Oh, it's DeVos?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't have to
That's fine.
worry about that.
I pronounce it DeVos.
Okay, go ahead. Do your thing.
DeVos.
Anything else? We done?
I mean, I know we wanted to talk about this, but I'll just speak on this later, because there was a whole crime spree before this guy got killed by the cops. Now, Michael Ward, he had at least a dozen prior arrests in Virginia. He went from Maryland to New York and started his crime spree across 3 boroughs and ended everything in Long Island. First, he punched a 77-year-old man in the South Bronx and stole $20 from him. Then he stole a white Acura. He drove to Brooklyn and killed a man walking across Metropolitan Avenue. He struck and hit him. Then he fled and ended up on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, where he stole $20 and a Honda Odyssey from a female victim. Then 11 minutes later, he carjacked another person who was driving a black Acura. Then while driving uptown, he hit another pedestrian. And then he just was all over the place. He ended up in Garden City, Long Island, where he attacked 2 men with a bat when the police officer tried to subdue him with a stun gun and couldn't contain him, and Ward refused to put down the bat. The officer killed him.
What was he on? Clearly he was on sometime.
They have not released that information yet. We have no idea what he was doing, but that's a long crime spree. He was all over the place. He started off in Maryland and ended up in Long Island.
Well, he earned getting shot by the police. Wow. Okay, he definitely earned that one. He was working towards that one. That was a long day that ended exactly the way it should have ended.
All right, well, that's front page news. And also, all our family members and friends in Texas, be careful opening packages. A couple of packages just exploded. So if you don't know who sent you the package, they're saying double check, call the police if you have to. I think 2 or 3 packages have exploded, 2 or 3 people have died. So be careful if you get a package you don't know who it's from. Definitely check that out.
And by the way, that's just not a message for Texas, because I saw that story yesterday. And, I suffer from psychological hypochondria. So when I see something happen to somebody, I think it can happen to me.
I do the same thing.
So don't just say Texas. Y'all better be careful opening up packages, period, because there's this thing called mail and it goes everywhere.
And they believe they're targeting African American and Latino areas.
Word is born.
Oh man, I just got some great packages in the mail here this morning. I got a $50 gift card to Marshall.
That thing ain't gonna blow up. I'm talking about boxes.
And then I got a box filled with all these face masks. I love face masks, and I'm really excited about it.
All right. Well, that's front page.
I was opening everything. I don't know who sent it.
You better be careful. Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up right now. Maybe you had a bad night, bad morning, whatever it may be. Get it off your chest. Call us now. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Hello, who's this?
It's the one and only, the wickedly talented iPhone Sam.
What's up, my brother?
iPhone, what's going on? Get it off your chest.
I finally got that federal return, man.
How much you got? How much you got?
Like 49. Gotta get the owner 13. So like 36.
You gotta get an owner of who?
The baby.
Oh, your baby mama.
He said the owner.
Owner.
Somebody else.
I don't know what's going on. Okay.
You know how that shit go, black people claim other stuff.
Oh, got you. Okay, no doubt. Well, congratulations, sir. Don't go spending all that money in one place, all right?
Man, I'm about to go have some fun with this.
What you about to go buy?
What's the plan?
What you gonna do?
I'm about to go buy like 2,000 worth of gas station pills, and I'm about to go rock out.
All right, you're gonna die.
All right.
Yeah, don't
You
do
gonna
that. Come on, man.
Have a blessed day, sir.
All right, man.
What?
Hello, who's this?
This is Big J from Houston.
What's up, bro? Get it off your chest.
Man, what's going on, man? I'm so happy. One of the best things that I love, man, is progression. And I just got some of the best box this morning, man, from this girl. And she used to suck, man, and like, physical, man, for my U.S. Marshall Academy, man. I'm like, I just have to thank God, man. I'm like, God.
Or just thank the guy who taught her.
Word is born. Life is all about evolution, man. You know what I'm saying? And she was out there popping that coom poom poom for a goom, and she learned some tricks and brought it back to you.
Hey, man, I ain't going for progression, man.
I ain't mad at that. Respect.
Fred, get it off your chest, Fred.
Queen God, DJ Envy, this Fred from Milwaukee, checking in with you. Good morning.
Fred from Milwaukee.
Yes, sir. I want to thank God. We should all just take a second to thank God for another week.
Yes, sir.
Second thing is, this weekend is St. Patrick's Day weekend. Now, in Milwaukee downtown, they have a big party. I'm going down there, but what I need my Breakfast Club family to do is I need y'all to get on your knees and pray for the young man, because the main point of me going down there is the main point of me going down there is to run into a young tenderoni, up and coming CAC, link up with her, and blow her back out, Uncle Tyler.
What's CAC?
He wants to colonize her. You can't just call her a CAC because you don't know if she's a racist bigot, okay?
I don't know, but y'all pray for me. That's my whole point of going.
I don't know if I want to pray for
Yeah,
that.
that sounds like it's gonna end right for
I don't
you.
want to waste my prayer on that.
Yeah, I'm not going to waste God's time on that, but I
Y'all know
will.
what I'm looking for. Y'all know I need poom poom. I'm trying to get it this weekend.
I will wish you the best, sir. Go get you a 4-leaf clover, and I hope you get lucky.
I love y'all. Have a good weekend.
And get permission, get consent.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm not that type of guy. Now, I'm desperate, but I ain't crazy.
All right, go. Y'all say
I'm desperate, but I ain't crazy. I like your style.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us now. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Mike, what's up, Mike?
What's good, Envy?
Man, get it off your chest.
Yo, man, so I'm trying to understand what you meant by when you said OJ was crazy for trying to go get his stuff back with a hammer. You know, like I was telling her when she picked up, you know, if growing up in the hood, man, somebody took something from me, and somebody told me they knew where they was at, we was going to get that.
Yeah, but you not when you just beat a crime.
Exactly.
You will run up in a spot with a gun and try to get your trophy when it doesn't belong to you anyway. If they see you with it, it has to go to the family that you killed.
You from the hood. When you got certain things on your back, when you got certain things, you're not going. When you got certain things on you, you're not going to move a certain way.
Well, you know, some people in OJ predicament, he feel like he can move a little different than the rest of us.
That's his problem.
They got his ass locked up.
Right.
That's the same way. That's the same reason he on a goddamn special, hypothetically talking about if he did it. He think he big. He think he above the law.
Anyway, we knew OJ did it in anyway, man. We just had that one false hope that he didn't, man. We knew he did it.
I never thought he did it.
I didn't think he did
I mean,
it.
I really thought the white man and crooked cops was just out to get him.
I thought so too.
Nah, man. I just felt like Johnny Cochran was on his game, and he got him up out of that, man.
I was under the impression that people thought he did it. They were just happy that for once black men got off for committing a crime because white men get off all the time.
I believed it when I was a kid. Hello, who's this?
Hey, good morning, my brother.
Hey, brother.
How you guys doing? I'm calling from the nation of Jersey.
All right, NOJ.
What's up?
Hey, peace and blessings, guy. I know you know my voice.
Oh, now we know.
Right
What's up, bro?
Well, I'm out here in these streets, brother, driving these garbage trucks. I'm thankful that it's not raining and it's snowing.
Well, what's the difference? What's better? Why is snow better than rain?
Well, it's just you just don't want to be feeling wet out here, you know. So I said that to somebody this morning, and they were like, thankful it's not raining. So I was like, let me say this on the Breakfast Club, you know.
Well, have a blessed day, Porta Party guy.
Snackman.
Yo, what's up?
Oh my gosh, Snackman. Okay, please have your joke ready this morning. We're ready to go.
and I'm standing. All right, yeah, so before I hijacked the plane down here to Florida, yo, I stole my sister's car, and I was driving down Route 1 in Newark. Yo, I got hit from behind by an illegal, and I know he was an illegal. He was wearing, for a fact, because he was wearing a backpack roller. Yo,
Yo, I hate you, yo.
He said 100% not my fault, yo.
Yo, Snack, man, I hate you.
$5,000 check cut from Mexico.
I don't even hate people, but I hate you, Snack, man.
I missed the end of the joke because Charlamagne was talking.
I think the end of the joke was 10 minutes ago.
All right, Snack Man, always a pleasure to
It's
get
really
a
nice.
ha 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 in the morning.
Jesus Christ.
That was so bad, Yee.
I mean, honestly, I'm tired now. Like, I'm really sleepy. I'm ready to go home. Can we leave?
No.
Snack Man is
He said he took his sister's car in
resident
Florida, and
comedian.
then he said he was driving it. You know what? Forget it. Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you're upset, you need to vent. Hit us now. Yee, we got rumors on the way?
Yep, update on Joel Santana, who did turn himself in. We'll tell you more about that. And speaking of being on the run, we'll tell you about somebody else who's on the run.
All right, we'll get into all that when we come back. Keep it locked. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. JNV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get to the rumors. Let's talk Joel Santana.
Well, Joel Santana did turn himself in yesterday, and that is all because he attempted to carry a handgun aboard a plane leaving from Newark Liberty International Airport on Friday. Now, when they did find the gun and the bag was pulled aside for additional screening, they said that he left the airport without his belongings and hopped into a cab, and that's when he left. He left his identification and everything. So,
It had us all thinking, with Joel's bandana tied around his head too tight all these years.
right, so and now he has turned himself in, and he has been remanded to the custody of the U.S. Marshals Service, pending a preliminary hearing on the charges. That hearing will be March 26th at 2 p.m.
So he has to sit for about 13 days.
Yeah, so he'll be waiting until he can.
Why you don't get a bail? He must have made somebody breathe too hard chasing him through that airport. Why you don't get a bail?
He has a 2013 state conviction for drug distribution, and they said in addition to attempting to bring a firearm on board an aircraft, he's also charged with possessing a firearm as a convicted felon.
Oh, damn.
So, we'll see what happens. Doesn't sound good so
Hey,
far.
nothing good gonna happen. I mean, that's a fact. Nothing good is gonna happen at all.
He also said he was pacing and he seemed nervous when he was in the airport, and he kept saying he was going to miss his flight to San
He
Francisco.
might have been having a panic attack.
He's probably Russian.
Oh,
He probably forgot it was in there, but he'd have to prove it's somebody else's bag.
He remembered it was in there and he didn't know what to do with it at that time. That's when you're supposed to just go throw it away. Throw it away throw away your liquids.
He wouldn't have just kept it moving like, let me see if this makes it through.
No, man, listen, we do not know how tight Joel's bandanas were tied around his head throughout the years. A lot of blood circulation might not have been going through his brain. We don't know what's wrong with people nowadays.
He wouldn't have did that.
All right, now that 911 call from Bobby Christina Brown's ex, Nick Gordon, has been released. Here's the 911 call. We told you about this earlier. We talked about how Nick Gordon and his girlfriend, Laura LiL, the cops had to go check on them, saying that he attacked her.
He's putting your hands on me, like, oh my God, he ripped my shirt. Can you please hear officers?
I have officers on the way. And you said officers on the way.
Please stop.
Is she still being physical with you?
Oh my gosh, yes. And the thing is, she called the cops only before because.
Okay, I have officers on the way out there too, sir. Is there any way you can get separated from her?
I feel so lame because I'm getting beat up by a woman. She just threw a bottle, please.
That guy needs therapy, man, and a lot of it.
He need more than therapy.
He needs therapy. He needs some therapy. He just needs to just sit down and talk to somebody.
Now, he was taken into custody. This was on Saturday. He told cops that his girlfriend, Laura LiL, had attacked him out of nowhere, but she is saying that he beat her on the ride home from the bar that they were at. Now, the arresting officer says there were visible marks on his girlfriend, Laura LiL, and placed Nick Gordon under arrest. He has been released on bail as of Sunday. Bobby Brown...
Why did he go to jail?
Because there were marks on her.
She didn't go to jail?
No.
See, that's why men that be getting beat up by women don't be calling the police right there.
That's if he's telling the truth.
Well, I'm saying he called 911 and he's reporting it. If you're reporting it, they should lock her up too, right? Should both of them be locked up?
Not if he doesn't have any physical marks. I don't know. He could be lying. I don't know.
That's not how this should work at all. That's exactly why men that are victims of domestic violence don't speak out right there.
All right, well, to move forward, now Bobby Brown said he's willing to help Laura Lil with services through their charity that they have, the Bobby Christina Brown Serenity House, because he doesn't want her to have the same fate as his daughter.
Now, I'm missing something. Now, first of all, I don't know Nick Gordon. He sounds like a piece of feces to me.
Okay.
But isn't he the person who called 911?
Yeah,
That's true.
So if I called 911 and I asked for help, how I end up in jail?
But just because you called 911.
But when he called, he also was saying that she had called 911 on him as well previously. So he might have been doing that to try to counteract what was ever going to happen, because she's saying that he beat her up in the car.
Why are you just dismissing what sounded like a victim on that phone? That man didn't sound like he was going through it.
He could have been lying. We don't know. The police went there and did an investigation.
Wow.
See, the problem is this, that there were marks all over her and nothing on him. Now, if there were marks on him and nothing on her, she would have got arrested.
A light skin.
Or she could have put the marks on herself. We don't know. But
all I'm saying is he called 911. What's the point of calling 911 if I'm end up in jail?
Yeah, but sometimes people make 911 calls when you're in the middle of an argument and it's not anything. And then no evidence of it.
Dismissing this man as if he couldn't be a victim.
If there's marks all over her and he beat her up, I mean, I can't see how.
Just know that if that was a woman, it would be a total different story right now, and we could not disregard her cries for help.
I don't think that when you call 911, the police automatically arrest you just because someone called 911 on you, do they?
I just heard her cry for help.
I think that they have to see some sort of evidence that something happened.
You feel baffled?
No, but I just heard her cry for help.
All right, I'm Angela Yee, and that is your rumor report.
All right. Well, when we come back, clear your mind, clear your mind, clear your mind. Lil Yachty will be joining us. We'll kick him a Lil Yachty.
Why do you say that?
He's a new artist, you know. We just talked about all this abuse.
I agree with him. It's going to require a lot of thinking.
It's just start over fresh. Lil Yachty, when we come back, he has a new album out. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. We have a special guest in the building.
Yachty!
Lil Yachty!
Nope, you can't call him Lil no more. He's 20 now.
It's Yachty.
Yeah.
What's happening, my brother?
And shit.
Lil Boat 2 out now? Yachty had a rough night, man. What happened? Where you was at?
I had a good night last night. I was happy.
Was in the studio?
So that's what the problem is. He had a good night.
No, it wasn't like that. I was, very happy about my album dropping, project, mixtape, whatever you want to call it.
When that happens, do you like stay up all night and read comments and see what people tweet and see what trending?
I don't stay up all night, but I stay up a little just to check it out.
You 20 now, man. You kind of an old man in this game at this point.
You no damn old man. No damn old man.
You still consider yourself the king of the teens?
Well, I switched to the king of the youth when I turned 20. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. That's a good question. I've been so busy, man. I don't even know.
But you know you turned 20?
Nah, I don't know about that title.
Oh, the title. Okay. I was reading an article on Pitchfork, and they were saying that, I don't know if they was quoting you or they said you feel like the kids are too fickle, like they move on too fast from things.
I said that, yeah.
Okay.
But do you feel like you're fickle?
No, not necessarily. I just feel like with the way people endure music, like, it's fast, you know?
So why you give him so much? You gave him, what, 17 songs this time?
Well, I haven't dropped none in almost 7 months. You know what I'm saying? So, why not?
Doesn't that feel like a long time?
7 months?
Yeah, like to you, it felt like a long time, I'm sure.
Yeah. That's what and so much has changed since then.
Like
so
what?
many new artists.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? It's a whole new wave now.
Yeah, it's like waves of grief.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When did you realize the kids were fickle though? At what point did you wake up and be like, God damn?
That's not even a bad thing. Like I'm not saying as if that's not a bad thing at all. It's just what it is. You know, everything is fast now.
And you and Takeoff still doing a compilation album? I mean, a collaboration album?
It's gonna be fire. I just gotta catch him and finish it.
Oh, it's not finished?
Nah, but he moves a lot, so I just gotta catch him. But as soon as we can finish it, he'll be out.
Do you feel more pressure being on QC and like the Migos have become these superstars? You feel pressure because of it?
Pressure. You know what I'm saying? Good pressure. That's pressure I need. You know what I'm saying? That's the best, like, back burner to have, like, to see them doing so well. You know what I'm saying? Because when I came to the level, they weren't the best. You know, they weren't doing that well in the game. So to see that, you know what I'm saying, is inspiration. It's inspiring.
You're not a morning guy at all, are you, Yachty?
I've been like 3 times. I don't know.
It's always been a little later though.
I don't know. I don't know. It's early.
It is early. So what's happened in your life to make Little Boat 2 take the tone that it's taken on? Is pretty different from the first album.
It's extremely different. Really, I just, when I dropped that last album, I personally loved it. I felt like it was the wrong time for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, he told me, he said, when Kanye West, he did about like 3 albums before he did 808 Heartbreaks, and really switched everything up, you know what I'm saying, completely.
4 actually.
Well, there you go. I kind of just came in and dropped that album, really switched things up from the jump without giving it any time to digest with my fans, you know what I'm saying, my actual sound. And I feel like it showed, but I like it. It was a lesson, and I learned from it. And I feel like I'm good now. The type of the album is, it's not like it's nothing new for me. When I was very first on SoundCloud, I was making music like that. You know, I just stayed away from it when I got into the game and just started making different type of music. You know, because came with the melodies, and so that's what I was doing. But that's nothing new for me. You know what I'm saying?
Does doing radio interviews get draining for you because you're like, y'all don't play my music anyway?
No, not necessarily. Only thing is, you know, I feel like I'm one of the only niggas that actually can still come up here when it comes to the new generation. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I've just been through a lot when it comes to radios.
A lot of people hate it.
Like people coming at you.
Well, yeah, you know, and
we've always showed you love here, though.
Not at first.
He said,
Why y'all say that? When did we not show Yachty love?
Well, you know, it's just.
I've never came at Yachty.
Yeah, first. When? You and Joe Budden, I saw that video. You know,
I told Joe.
I let it go.
I told Joe verbatim.
I let it go.
I told Joe you cannot hate on Little Yachty.
You said he was the face of something.
No.
Oh, you did last time. You know that.
Y'all always take that out of context.
That blew me, bro. You know that blew me. You know people bring that up all the time, bro.
You knew what I was saying, though.
Charlamagne said.
But and that was wrong. I was saying that's how people perceive you. I didn't say I felt like that. But you didn't know that at the time. They was using you as like the punching bag.
I mean, yeah, I feel like that's why all rappers are saying crazy things now, and it's just getting away. People getting away with saying anything now.
What you mean?
Just certain rappers, you know what I'm saying? They say certain shit that like would have been said when I first came in the game, like
they'd have been all over you.
Man, what?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't give a fuck though, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never been scared at like criticism. You know what I'm saying? That shit doesn't bother me at all. Cause I'm still getting money. You know what I'm saying? Like people can try and like someone could tell me no or tell me that it was trash 10 times, but I'm gonna keep doing it till somebody's like, okay, I respect that, I fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? Cause I really don't give a fuck. It's not like I do anything else with my life, but music. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm clubbing or playing basketball or something. So why not? You know what I'm saying?
No, you brought up the video with Joe Budden. You didn't see me defend you on that video?
Nope.
So what did you see?
we're going to have to play.
I saw.
I told Joe he cannot hate on Little Yachty because Yachty's music is not for him. Let the kids be kids.
I didn't see that part.
I know you didn't, but you didn't hear me say Yachty's whack or anything like that. You've never seen me say that.
I seen y'all sitting next to each other. If I see one snake, I see two.
Man, stop, man. That's not fair. That's not fair.
I don't know what Charlamagne said. So
Jesus Christ.
Snakes and dogs don't hang out together.
Oh, he's a snake nigga.
All me and Joe do is argue, by the way.
You finished snake nigga?
Shut up, man. I like Yachty. I do appreciate
That's cap.
what Yachty does. Yachty, tell me when you ever seen me say you was white.
Honestly, on air I probably haven't, but that don't mean you haven't did that.
I wouldn't do that. I don't talk behind people's back. If I say it on air, I say it on air.
You always talk about how he's whack. You did. You said it before, and I stand for more.
You gonna lie like that?
Yep.
You really gonna lie like that?
Yep.
All right. You big nasty. That's a snake. That's how a nigga gets shot right there. Because he'll tell you. He said,
all right, this is too much.
I said no, he lying. You said you lying. So yes.
Lil Yachty, congratulations on the album.
Y'all niggas weird.
No, we're weird, Johnny. Now we weird. We're weird. You're the weirdo rapper. That's what they say.
That's what they say. You know the perception is.
Hey man, you know what I'm saying?
Listen, man.
man.
Well, for the record, keep doing your thing.
Oh, I appreciate it. I'm always doing my thing.
And you know, it was always a point, even when we were younger. All older people around us used to look at the Method Mans and Snoops and whoever we was into and be like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
So keep doing your thing.
I appreciate
But
it.
just don't go broke, because if you go broke, you're gonna really give people a reason to jump on you.
Oh God.
Well, there you have it.
That's a nightmare.
Lil Yachty, his album's out right now. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. I tried to get a Lil Yachty song on, but Charlamagne vetoed that and said no.
Oh God, stop it.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. What is your problem with Lil Yachty, bro?
I don't have a problem with Lil Yachty. I've never had a problem with Lil Yachty, and I'm telling you, this is what's wrong with the media, because I don't know where Lil Yachty gets the perception that I don't like him. First of all, if I think that you're whack, I'm gonna always say that you're whack. I've never called Lil Yachty.
Name
whack.
3 Lil Yachty songs.
It doesn't matter. I think Lil Yachty is harmless. The point is, Lil Yachty is not my age demo. Like, I don't mind what Lil Yachty does. Lil Yachty's not out here talking about using a bunch of drugs. He's not out here talking about killing a bunch of people. Lil Yachty ain't bothering nobody. Go get your money, Lil Yachty.
I like Lil Yachty.
I do too.
I like his album too.
And
the joint with 2 Chainz I really like.
That interview was awful.
Yeah, it was pretty awful. I think he did that because he didn't like Charlamagne. But let's
Why y'all ain't telling me it was awful when he was here? Don't talk behind that man back. Keep that same minute.
I think he knew. I'm pretty sure he did that.
That's why Craig Mack pressed you back in the day.
I'm pretty sure he did. I'm pretty sure. Hello. I'm pretty sure he did that on purpose.
Yes, he just didn't have energy.
I think he purposely wanted to do it.
If y'all ain't tell him when he was here.
Did you tell him?
No, because I didn't care. I was having a good conversation with him.
You had a good conversation with yourself.
I was having a great conversation.
You was having a good conversation. No, you was talking to yourself.
I was, me and him was having a good
He
conversation.
said he wasn't tired.
Nope. He just didn't like
And at least
Charlamagne.
he showed up.
Hello, who's this?
It's Darnell from the NCQC.
Hey, Darnell from QC. What's up, brother?
Charlotte, what's happening?
What do you think about Charlamagne and him hating on Lil Yachty, man?
Man, stop saying that.
I'm not going to say Charlamagne is hating, because Charlamagne clearly has his own means. But I would definitely say that we do, as a society, we don't really let artists be artists to a degree. I think we're a little bit, you know what I'm saying, too relative into things that relate to us.
Can I ask you a question? Did you listen to the interview that we just had with Lil Yachty? You didn't even hear what the hell just happened, did you?
I mean, yeah, I did.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Ask me a question. Ask me another question.
Ask him a quiz him on it.
So what did I say in the interview just now that made you think I was hating on Lil Yachty?
I didn't say you were. First off, you didn't say anything in the interview that to me seemed like you were hating. First off, it seemed like you had an opinion about based off of what the subject matter was, based off the majority of people that don't like his music, that would per se they say that they have this opinion about his music, but you were just, I guess, elaborating.
I was conveying the opinions of the public.
But see, but the thing is, he has a lot of fans, so the public could be what, 30, 35 and over is the people that don't like him? The kids seem like they love him.
If you listen to what Joe said that his son is 16 and his son thinks Lil Yachty's whack. I personally don't think Lil Yachty's whack. I think he's harmless, to be honest with you.
Well, my daughter's 16 and she likes Lil Yachty's music, but
that's life though.
She also likes, Lil Pump, but she also likes Kanye.
But that's life. It's the rule of 10. 2 people gonna like it, 2 people not gonna like it, 4 people not even gonna care.
All right, well, let's go to line 9. What's your name, mama or sir?
Hi, my name is Fritzlin Lawrence.
Hey, Fritzlin.
Lil Yachty, you're an amazing rapper. You have so much talent. Don't listen to what nobody says about you. You're so amazing. You're so young. You're only 20 years old.
All right.
Okay.
Shout out to Lil Yachty.
That's not our question, though.
I know.
I'm sorry. What was your question?
Do you think Charlamagne's kind of hating on Lil Yachty a little bit?
Yes, Charlie. You are hating on Lil Yachty. Like, why are you saying that he's a whack rapper?
No, I didn't say that.
We heard it come from you.
Man, you know what, man?
I think
I want y'all to be clear about this. and I want y'all to quote me on this. All of y'all retarded. I got to really think something is wrong with us as a society.
What you call
I'm sitting up here specifically telling this man I don't think he's white. Specifically telling this man to keep doing his thing, and y'all saying that I'm hating on him. Y'all are crazy. I'm serious, y'all are crazy.
I think he was
wrong with people.
I think he was offended by saying that he was that other people say he's the poster child.
But they do say that.
Can I finish? But other people are saying that he's the poster child for whack. But when it came out, the way it sounded like was that you were kind of maybe he felt like it came out like you were co-signing it.
No, it didn't. Because I specifically.
But I'm just saying that might be how he interpreted it.
Did y'all just hear the clip? Am I on drugs here? Did y'all just not hear the clip?
I'm just trying to explain. I'm trying to explain why.
You're not gaslighting me.
I'm just trying to explain why he perhaps may have done that. That's
well, let's open up the phone lines. See, 800.
Y'all just been taking phone calls.
We need to take some more. 800-585.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't even really care.
800-585-1051 is the Breakfast Club one. Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Now, earlier today, about maybe 20 minutes ago, Little Yachty stopped through, and he wasn't pretty exciting. And we're thinking the reason was because of Charlamagne.
Well, two reasons. Little Yachty don't want to be up here with a bunch of old radio personalities. As he said, he's the only young person that comes up here. And for whatever reason, Little Yachty thinks that I don't like his music. I did a show at the end of last year called Dope Trash Year with Joe Budden.
Right.
Joe Budden had Yachty on his trash list. I personally didn't think Yachty should be on the trash list, but for whatever reason, Yachty didn't hear that.
So you think he's grouping you with Joe Budden?
I can see that. He said it. He said it.
That's all the time.
Well, I guess it does.
He said he didn't hear what I said. He just saw it. As he said, all he saw was two snakes sitting next to each other.
Two snakes sitting next to each other. Hello.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy D from the Bronx.
D, should Yachty be mad at Charlamagne, man?
Oh yeah, Yachty should definitely be mad. You gotta check it out. These kids, with these kids, man, they think they're lyricists. So whenever you don't put that in perspective, they automatically, if you don't compare them to J. Cole or Kendrick, they automatically going to be mad.
Who the hell would compare Yachty to J. Cole or Kendrick? I don't think Yachty would compare himself to J. Cole or Kendrick. There's nobody who ever did that in the history of life.
And that's why he should be offended. That's my point.
No.
I wouldn't compare him. I mean, I'm just saying. And then another thing you say when they do with Yachty, you're saying the people think he's the face among the rap. That's what you really think.
That is not what I really think. Do y'all not read the same things that I read and look at the same things that I look at?
We're just trying to explain why he interpreted it that way. That's all. That's what he probably thinks when he heard how you phrased the question. That's all.
But that is a valid question. Am I bugging? Whenever people talk about mumble rap, do they not mention Lil Yachty?
I really think the problem is, Charlamagne had a horrible rap career. You remember his name used to be Dizzy Van Winkle? That was his rap name. And the fact that he never blew, I think it really bothers him that Yachty's making a lot of money from rap.
You know how much money I'm making from rap? Of life.
No, I'm talking about you as a rapper.
First of all, since we want to talk about fake news stories, what's that 9.5-inch dildo of yours? You still got that?
I still have it. Yes, I do.
Okay, all right.
I told you that was a fake news story.
Oh, okay, you're right. You're right.
So
you're right.
That was a terrible example.
No, I'm right.
We don't want to talk about all these fake news stories. I'm just saying. We don't want to talk about that. We can talk those stuff. I got a bunch of fake news stories. Hello. Hello.
Yo,
who's this?
Hey, what's going on? It's Jerome.
Jerome, what do you think about Charlamagne hating on Yachty?
Stop saying that.
Hey, I think you defended her pretty good. I Yachty though. I messed with Yachty. I was listening to his album this morning.
Did it sound like I was hating on Yachty to you?
Not at all.
Finally, somebody with some goddamn common sense.
You must not have been listening.
I heard everything. I thought he defended her pretty good.
Actually, literally defended him. Literally said he should not be on the trash list.
Hey, why he ain't stay up there too much longer while it was short?
Oh, he was here longer. Those were the highlights. So I don't know.
I think the full interview will be on YouTube. How long is the full interview? Like 20-something minutes.
Painful minutes.
13, 14 minutes.
When I get off work, I take it out when I get off work.
All right, my brother.
All right, man. Thank you. All right. All right, what's the moral of the story?
The moral of the story is I do not dislike Lil Yachty. I think Lil Yachty is harmless. Look, man, even if I personally don't think you're, a great rapper, I understand that Yachty is not for me. I'm damn near 40. Yachty is 20. Why the hell would I be riding around listening to Lil Yachty?
Because music is good. Music is good music.
Yeah, but he don't make music that I'm into. Like, it's cool, but I don't knock what he does. And he's not out here talking about using a bunch of drugs. He's not out here talking about killing a bunch of people. Lil Yachty is harmless. I don't have no qualms with Lil Yachty whatsoever.
Lil Yachty's winning. He's going to be the voice of Green Lantern in the new movie Teen Titans.
Well, that was going to come up in the rumor report. Thank you.
He's making big moves. I like
critiquing Lil Yachty's music to me is like older people critiquing Wrinkle in Time. It's a kid's movie.
So what do you want out of this, Charlamagne? You want Lil Yachty to understand that you like him, or
No, I don't want nothing out of it. I got what I wanted out of it, which was 20 minutes of content. That's all. That's it.
Now, what are we talking in the room, Michi?
Well, let's talk about some good things, all right? Let's make it positive. Let's talk about something that D-Wade did about the survivors of the Stoneman Douglas shooting to honor the 17 lives that were lost there.
All right, we'll get into all that when we come back. Keep it locked. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Everybody, it's DJ NV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get to the rumors. Let's talk Birdman a little way.
Well, it seems like business doesn't always have to be personal. Lil Wayne and Birdman ran into each other in Miami at LiL, and they actually gave each other a hug. It was all caught on camera. Now, according to sources, they said that the lawsuit is very much still on, but they are going to separate that from their personal relationship because they are family, and that's bigger than money.
How can you separate that?
I'm not sure.
Well, they always say there's no permanent friends or enemies when it comes to business, but I'm going to be honest, Birdman and Wayne got the strangest relationship I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, we can't talk. We can't be friends. We can't hug until we settle this problem, in my opinion.
Now, allegedly, neither one of them knew the other one was there until DJ Stevie J shouted them out, and that's when Birdman's son, Brian Jr., went downstairs to say what's up to Weezy, and then Wayne went and stopped by Birdman's table where they had a hug.
Well, that's when you know it's really not a problem. If you can't keep that same energy in person, then it's really not a problem.
I mean, I've been hearing that they did a song together and all of that, so I don't know what's happening with that.
And they got each other tattooed on each other. When you got a man's face tattooed on your body and you done kissed a man in the mouth, y'all got to be friends forever.
I don't know if that's true. Some people can get those tattoos removed or covered up.
Yeah, but
you
can't forget about the kiss. Like, they're family. Like, you can't.
Just because you kiss somebody doesn't mean you have to forever be family with them.
If you're a man and you kiss another man, yes it does.
No, it doesn't.
I wish Envy would try to leave me.
What?
So you guys have kissed?
No. God, why can I?
That's what I just got from that. You said if you kiss another man, then you're always together, and then you said, I wish Envy would ever try to leave me. What does that mean?
I remember when sarcasm used to be a thing out here in these streets.
I take everything you say seriously, Charlamagne. I do. I take it at
I've never
face
kissed
value.
I've never kissed that man in
The fact that you have to explain that lets me know this society is in a bad state.
Stop looking at me like that after you talk about kissing me in the mouth.
This man for 8 years now, all of a sudden I'm looking at him away.
All right. Well, let's talk about some good news. Dwayne Wade. He has teamed up with survivors of the Stoneman Douglas high school shooting to honor the 17 lives that were lost. He has an exhibit. It's called Parkland 17. Now, one of the victims, Joaquin Oliver, was a huge fan of his and even asked to be buried in D. Wade's number 3 Heat jersey.
Oh, Lord.
Now, Dwayne Wade also wore sneakers with Oliver's name on them when they won over the 76ers, and he announced on social media he's going to honor him throughout the rest of the season. He wrote, "It's way bigger than basketball. We are the voices for the people that don't get to be heard. Joaquin Oliver, may you rest in peace, and I dedicate my return and the rest of this Miami Heat season to you." Now, part of the exhibit that he did, Oliver's father, Manuel, painted a mural of his son, and the words said, "We demand a change." And there was another part with 17 desks and the names of each victim and their age. There's also gun violence statistics that are featured throughout the exhibit, and that's how Dwayne Wade has decided to honor these victims. They also have a Ring Your Rep phone booth. People can actually voice their concerns on gun violence and also contact their congressman.
Dwayne Wade definitely have to retire the Heat now. If somebody's going to get buried in your jersey,
yeah, absolutely.
You better not switch teams
He
again.
was a big fan of his.
He's gonna retire.
You better retire the Miami Heat if somebody's going to get buried in your jersey.
All right, so there was a story that got reported to the Jasmine brand about Jhené Aiko and Big Sean having some issues because Big Sean was with Nicole Scherzinger from the Pussycat Dolls, and they were allegedly hugging and heavily flirting at a private Oscars party. Of course, one of those parties where there were no cameras allowed. Now, according to reports, they said she followed Big Sean on IG, and he's not been on her page in the past few weeks. Well, she tweeted out, Janae Aiko tweeted out, "Sorry, but nothing about you guys' fan fiction stories are true. I still love you though." And Big Sean retweeted it and put the hand clap signs.
God damn, so it's not true.
So it's not true, according to...
Did he smash Nicole Scherzer or whatever?
I don't know.
Big Sean ain't smashed the black woman since Finally Famous. I just want y'all to know that.
Stop it. Janae Aiko's half black, wasn't she?
Big Sean ain't smashed the black woman since Finally Famous. Big Sean got famous and ain't looked back, bro.
Yeah, she is.
She's half black. Janae Aiko's half black.
Okay.
Yes. All right, I'm Angela Yee, and that is your rumor report.
Oh my God.
Who you giving your donkey to, man?
Today, it is going to Betsy DeVos. All right, she's the Education Secretary for America. You ever heard of her? No.
Yes.
All right. Well,
Only because she says stupid things all the time.
She need to come to the front of the congregation. We'd like to have a word with her.
All right, we'll give it to her when we come back. Keep it locked. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Listen, before we move on to Donkey today, Angela Yee, people don't respect Envy as a DJ.
What happened?
Man. Somebody just texted me and said, "I really appreciate the shout out for Craig Mack this morning. Hope Envy can play Flavor in your ear one time for the culture." Man, wow.
Envy, you weren't gonna play no Craig Mack?
Of course.
Wow. Tell Joe Below don't disrespect you like that,
Joe
man.
Below, we got Get Down, we got Craig Mack, we got Flavor in Your Ear, the Flavor in Your Ear remix. Though we got a couple of Craig Mack joints.
That's the basics. That's the basics.
What other Craig Mack record do you know?
No, I'm saying that's
right,
the fact that he wouldn't expect you to play.
Joe Below's on. He doesn't really know what's going on.
All right.
Shout out to Joe Below.
All right, and our condolences again to Craig Mack's family.
Yes.
And loved ones.
And we'll tell you how Craig Mack pressed Envy back in the day a little later. Now, Donkey today for Tuesday, March 13th, goes to the Education Secretary of the divided states of America, Betsy DeVos. Now, full disclosure, all this time I thought her name was Betsy DeVos. Okay, and the only DeVos I acknowledge is the legendary Ronnie DeVos, BBD and New Edition fame, dropping the clue bombs for Ronnie DeVos, damn it. Okay? I don't know why when I look at her last name, which is spelled...
Yeah, there's an S at the end.
I know, it's spelled DEVOS. I read it as DeVos. Maybe I'm dyslexic and don't know it, or maybe the South Carolina school system failed me, who knows? All I do know, school systems will continue to fail our youth, especially when we have people like Betsy DeVos being in positions like Education Secretary. Look, I graduated from night school, but this math is quite simple for me. Betsy DeVos is simply not qualified to be Education Secretary, okay? 1 + 1 clearly equals 2 in this equation. Like, it doesn't take long to notice when you have a point guard playing center, that point guard is not in their natural position, okay? I don't know what Betsy DeVos' natural position is, but it's not Education Secretary, all right? The Education Secretary deals with federal influence over education policy and heads the U.S. Department of Education. Now, here's the thing. Maybe asking Betsy to know what's going on across the whole USA is a bit much. Okay, we can't possibly expect her to know how schools are performing all over the country. It's not like it's her job or something. Okay, I'm just trying to play white devil's advocate here. All right, everyone in the Trump administration sadly must be graded on a curve. So let's not ask her about things going on all over the country. Let's keep it to Michigan. That's where she was born. That's where she was from. That's her state. Leslie Stahl, the interviewer who was interviewing her on 60 Minutes the other night, hit Betsy DeVos with a simple question. Super softball, gave Betsy every opportunity to knock it out the park. Okay? In fact, this wasn't even schools. What are you doing? Slow down, I'm setting it up.
What's going on?
Right? In fact, it wasn't even a softball. All right, it was a T-ball. All right, it's right there. All you have to do is swing and hit it. Leslie Stahl simply asked Betsy, "How are Michigan's public schools performing?" Now let's hear what happened.
Have the public schools in Michigan gotten better?
I don't know. Overall, I can't say overall that they have all gotten better.
The whole state is not doing well.
Well, there are certainly lots of pockets where the students are doing well.
Have you seen the really bad schools? Maybe try to figure out what they're doing?
I have not intentionally visited schools that are underperforming.
Maybe you should.
Maybe I should.
I'll take that back. That wasn't a softball. That wasn't a softball. That was T-ball. Betsy DeVos is from Michigan. Michigan is our state. Even if you aren't qualified to be Education Secretary all across America, you should at least know what's happening in your backyard. How in the hell does Betsy strike out in T-ball? Play the clip again.
Have the public schools in Michigan gotten better?
I don't know. Overall, I can't say overall that they have all gotten better.
The whole state is not doing well.
Well, there are certainly lots of pockets where the students are doing well.
Have you seen the really bad schools? Maybe try to figure out what they're doing?
I have not intentionally visited schools that are underperforming.
Maybe you should.
Maybe I should.
The education.
The first thing you did.
Yes, the Education Secretary of the United States of America says I have not intentionally visited schools that are underperforming. I have not intentionally visited schools that are underperforming. I have not intentionally worn condoms this morning, even though I have herpes. I told you I may be dyslexic, so I hear things differently. I have not intentionally called an Uber, even though I'm drunk on the drive. You know how ridiculous those statements sounded? That's how I have not intentionally visited schools that are underperforming sounds, okay? Intention is everything. Intention creates our reality. You don't not intentionally visit schools that are underperforming. You intentionally visit the schools that are underperforming because you don't want them to underperform anymore. Okay, shouldn't you as the education secretary intentionally visit schools that are underperforming? Isn't that the point? Isn't the point of being the education secretary to help schools throughout the country that are underperforming? Am I missing something here?
I don't know. I thought that was her job.
It is.
Some donkey today just sell themselves. Please give Betsy DeVos the biggest Seahawk, please. I'm telling you, man, the world as we know it is a spoof. Okay, God has the same sense of humor that Key and Peele had, that Chappelle and Neil Brennan had, that the folks at SNL had. This is all a spoof. Okay, whatever you think it's supposed to be, it's not. Whatever you think was said, wasn't said. All right? People are not on the same wavelength, bro. It's just not happening.
Well, she said it was poor editing, I think.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
All right. Well, thank you for that donkey today. When we come back, we got some great doctors joining us. What's their names, Yee?
Well, it's Coach Jesse and Dr. Amun and Dr. Amsu. Now, a lot of people were asking me about this 14-day detox that I did. A lot of people were hitting me up on social media. I couldn't even answer everybody. I was trying to, but it was so many people who are interested in learning about detoxes. Which one should they do? What's best for them? So I did one just so I could talk about it and reset my whole insides, and then I had them come up on the show so they can answer any questions you might have had.
All right, so we'll talk to them when we come back, so don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Everybody, it's DJ NV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Now we have some doctors here that has been making Yee pee out her butt for the last 15 days.
That's not true because nothing's happening out my butt when I did this 14-day detox.
Introduce the doctors, Yee.
Dr. Amun, Dr. Amsu, and Jesse.
Coach Jesse.
Yeah, Coach Jesse. All right, so they were on the show before, if you guys recall. And we were talking a lot about our diets and being vegan and just all kinds of different issues that people have due to their diets.
Holistic.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
And so I did agree to do this 14-day detox, but one important thing that took me a while to get started was finding the right time to start, because it was important for me to pick a 2-week period of time that I wasn't all over the place. I wasn't flying places, having a million different events to do. So finally we locked in a date to get started. I didn't think I'd be able to do it because it is a dry fast the entire 14 days, and we're like liquid fast, yes. Liquid fast, so I couldn't eat anything solid.
And she been peeing out her butt for 15 minutes.
There was nothing. Why do you keep saying that? Because I told you there's no food going in, so all we did was pee. It wasn't anything else coming out. So, yeah.
She couldn't have sex. She couldn't run. She couldn't do exercise.
That's right.
What's the point of the detox?
Yeah. So a lot of people ask me about it, and that's why I'm glad you guys came back up to explain why somebody would do this 14-day detox. There's a 7-day, a 14-day, and a 30-day that you guys have on the detoxnow.com.
30-day? You think you could do it for 30 days?
They're all different.
Well, they're different.
Oh, you said I was looking like a chicken finger, so I knew it was getting bad.
I mean, you got to look at it like this. We're constantly working our body. Our digestive system's constantly working. And like anything, you know, whether you look at a motor vehicle or anything in life, if you're constantly working it without giving it a timeout, a break, it's going to eventually pack up.
Right.
So one of the things is with the 14-day liquid fast, you know, you're giving your body time to start rebuilding because you're resting it from hard, solid foods that you would, you know, take in every day. So one of the benefits is that the body gets time now to rejuvenate and starts to repair itself through that rejuvenation state. So, and there's a discipline side to it as well. You know, not eating no food for 14 days. You know, your mind starts wandering. There's parasites. There's habits. There's no intimacy. So it's an overall mind, body, and soul fast that you really got to concentrate on what you're doing.
Is that healthy though?
That's healthy.
Very healthy.
Think about it. If listen to what we just said. When your body starts repairing itself is when it's having a break, when it's not working. The body will now naturally start repairing itself. So when people say, well, is it healthy not to eat for 14 days? Of course it is. Because now your body's going to start repairing itself. Listen to what you're saying. So it's totally healthy.
And another thing that happens as well is that things that are useless in your body, like fat. The whole point is we want to get rid of fat because fat is useless. It carries toxins, bacteria, virulence, all of that. So the fat has to go, and when you're not eating, your body actually starts to pull from fat, pull from tumors, anything that isn't supposed to be there. Your body will break it down, metabolize it to use it as energy. So, that's why it's so healthy. When you fast, you're actually increasing red blood cells, reducing white blood cells, because white blood cells, anybody who suffers from any form of inflammation, bloating or anything like that, that's the white blood cells doing it. So when you're fasting, your white blood cells are being reduced and your red blood cells are being increased, which brings oxygen around the body and electricity. So, I don't know. Go too deep into it.
I love the way you say fat too. It makes it sound disgusting. Like I don't want to be so fat.
But some people think fat means just weight, right? Now, everybody's about to be going vegan because Beyonce and her 115 million fans have said they're going vegan. Right?
Well, they didn't all say that.
Well, I'm saying she's announced it and everybody.
Well,
But here's the thing.
Challenge.
It's a challenge that she's issued. And the thing about it is, what Dr. Amon and Dr. Amsu both talked about is that the very first step when you are looking to whether it's prevent disease or cure some kind of chronic condition, whether it's fibroids, which we found significant success around, diabetes, which we've seen significant reversal of diabetes, type 1 reversal on actually this detox, to heart disease, high cholesterol, and high blood pressure issues. The very first step is actually detoxing to actually clear the plate, and then also to prevent disease. And then from there, the reason we empower people to make sure, while people are tossing around this term vegan, that they're not exchanging animal-based toxins for plant-based toxins. We want to educate them, and that's why we give them the free download, the Life After Detox food list on the detoxnow.com, and the reason why all of our detoxes include the Life After Detox meal plan so that they actually can start using food as their medicine, because that's the real deal. The real deal is the detox helps to actually provide this insulation period where you think about it like in the hospital, they will actually put you on an NG tube if your body actually has certain breakdown. And if anybody knows what the NG tube is, it's to allow your digestive system to completely rest. So that healing can take place.
Now let's talk about her fast or her detox.
Detox for
what did she have to do? Let's start because because one of her friends didn't make it.
Yes.
One of her friends tapped out early. Now let's talk
made it sound like she died.
Well, she went to the
She tapped out the next day.
But let's talk about the detox.
It is different for every person. I will say that. And what are some reasons that people might have a negative reaction when they actually detox?
Well, like we were saying, so now when the body's in that period of resting, okay, it starts releasing toxins out of the body because it's starting to repair itself. Okay, so at that stage, depending on how much toxicity is in an individual, will then measure how rough this actual detox or fast can be for them. So in your friend's situation, and I knew the particular lady was going to have the worst experience.
Why did you think that?
Because I see her Instagram, I see how she drinks, how she smokes, what she eats.
He's a drinker too.
And I was like, you know what? She's gonna hit it. It's gonna. And I said this on the call
But there
prior
was
to it.
also
I was like,
condition that we know about.
But I said this gonna hit her bad because once she goes into that ketose state, and that's where the sugar levels of the body drops, and like Dr. Amson was just saying, it starts looking for the fat in the body now to fuel for energy. That's when it starts releasing all of these toxins, and that's going to give you headaches. That's going to make you want to vomit. That's going to even affect your heart rate to some, because the body now is going under that pressure.
She had the shakes to chill down.
Yeah.
Right.
And there were cysts involved where it's the thing about it, it's a good thing. You want to talk about the cysts?
Yeah, we didn't know that she had a cyst. We didn't know that prior. And one of the things we would have told her is to expect pain, because again, a lot of times we said it, is that when you get to that ketose state, things like tumors, cysts, the body now is going to start breaking on that and use those for fuel.
And fiber is also.
Yeah,
Right, so it's almost like a bittersweet situation.
Yeah.
You're getting repaired, you're getting rid of them,
But it hurts.
It hurts at the same time.
Exactly.
And what I said to everybody is that when you put in toxins in the body, it's very enjoyable. You know, you're doing it every day with what you eat and what you consume. However, when they have to come out, it's a different story.
So let's talk about
How do they usually come out? Is it sweat or is it
Defecation, urination, respiration, perspiration, those 4 methods. And this is the thing, they don't leave without a fight, especially parasites. Parasites go out screaming, they'll go out and they'll take you down,
Mine is usually sweat. Like I can always, when I eat something I know that I've been eating, I'll sweat.
And it's good to know your telltale signs, so you know, somebody tried to poison you or something. I ain't eating from her no more. All these things. When you go somewhere and if you sweat, that lets you know, all right, something in that particular meal or something I've had that day. And it's good when something happens, you go back and you can now know, all right, this has an adverse effect on me.
I had some Nathan's French fries Saturday night at the Barclays Center.
There you go.
And when I was walking out, forehead just.
Your body's reaction.
Yeah, cool, because if it's sweat, that's one of the best ways because it's unnoticeable. But when some people smell bad, it comes out through their body odor. Some people gas. There was a fight on a plane the other day. Some guy.
That guy would have stopped fighting on
the plane.
So what's the first thing you had to do?
I'll tell you what the first thing I did do was, I made sure like the first few days before I even started, I just modified my diet so I wouldn't shock myself going into it. So as far as like I wasn't drinking, I wasn't eating anything too heavy, I tried to make sure I was doing like a lot of fruits and vegetables. So I can make that transition because I don't think you want to have like a big huge meal and then start the next day.
So you don't eat nothing, you just drink water the whole time? Because I see you put something on your tongue or something.
Oh, these herbal supplements.
Right. So we're still giving the body minerals. Right? So the supplements are your minerals that your body needs to function. The water, because that's what energy, the energy you get is not necessarily from your food, it's actually from oxygen and water. Okay? So the water was to make sure she doesn't dehydrate. Alright, so she keeps hydrated. The supplements were for the minerals for the body to keep functioning. And then the rest of everything else was just
coconut water if I started feeling dizzy.
Yeah, to keep
all she had for 15 days was coconut water and the minerals?
Minerals, fresh spring water and some structured water.
Structured water
But your
has
body
chlorophyll
knows
in
how
it.
to
Chlorophyll.
Right? Your body knows how to fast and it starts to use it. It starts to use what you don't need in your body.
Weight, right?
You can, but what you use more is fat actually, which is storing those actually toxins, which really what I'm going to.
And what you will find is that it's the after. Right now, as the sisters finish the detox, is what she does after. If she sticks to the plan, she will start losing more fat. We don't like to use the word weight.
Muscle is weight. Muscle is good.
Muscle weighs more than fat.
If she
there you go.
falls back into bad habits, the drinking, right, and all of that.
Did you drink this weekend, Yi?
Yes, I had 2 drops.
She's gonna blow up. The fat will come back quick.
That's a fact, because I cut carbs, so I don't really eat carbs like that.
Right.
But if I have like a week where I'm like on my carbs heavy,
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
quick.
And it's an inflammatory response.
That's
That's
what
the
I'm
key
about to say.
thing.
Yeah.
The key thing is it's not just, hey, this is not about managing, your size. This is about managing the conditions that are actually your body is developing on the inside that you don't see until the outside. I just had a call yesterday, this woman who she actually was put on, after postmenopause, she was put on the hormone replacement drugs. Found out she was riddled with blood clots in years afterwards. Okay? And that was because of the estrogen and how it was attacking her body. It's not stuff that you see. And that's why I really applaud Angela and Paris, because they didn't even have, a lot of the women when they come to us, they have the incentive because they are dealing with severe fibroid symptoms, severe, and whatever it may be, diabetes, whatever it is. So they have the impetus to get healthy. But they were like on a prevention tip, and that is the music to our ears, because it's better for her to be dealing with it now than 5 years, 10 years from now. She's dealing with some sort of cancer, she's dealing with heart disease, because her body was all along developing those conditions.
It might be too late with Paris, because I remember when we was in Myrtle Beach and she did that number 2 and messed the toilet up.
Oh my God.
The dude that had to fix it in the lobby was like, oh my God, it was disgusting. Like, he talked like it was the worst
Her body, that may be part of the way her body detoxes, right? And so it was like
she likes that story.
That's true, because it was after she ate like 6 Krispy Kreme donuts.
You gave us those Krispy Kreme donuts, by the way. One woman, actually, who I met in the juice bar, told me that she fasted for 20 days, right? Only drank water, and actually her fibroids like came out.
Yeah,
that happens all the time.
Really? That's the importance of the supplements. The supplements inhibit estrogen. They help the liver to do what it's supposed to do, which is to what we call to metabolize or flush out, filter out toxins, because things like nitrogen, the body's always trying to get rid of nitrogen. So the liver, not only does it assign minerals into the blood that goes to organs that need it to do reparation, it also gets rid of toxins. So when your liver's working right, you're golden. The liver is so powerful, so the supplements, these are electric food supplements, and our slogan for electric food spelled with a PH, right? Our slogan is nature is the best pharmacy. Nature is the best pharmacy because there's no adverse side effects. So your body, when you're doing a detox, your body is going to go through sickness. How severe that sickness is depends on how sick you really are. You may be asymptomatic with your illness, but when you start to detox, it's going to show you, oh man, I've got pain, I've got headaches, I'm throwing up, I'm doing whatever. This is letting you know
your body.
Your body was getting ready to break down.
People are fearful. I was going to say people are fearful just to what he said about that. I didn't have any side effects except that I was kind of hungry and sometimes a little bit.
Because you're golden, Angela. You're golden.
And neither did Paris, and we were very fortunate in that it wasn't any pain. I kept anticipating something would happen, but it really wasn't that bad other than, yes, at times. Sometimes I wasn't hungry, and I think the beginning was easier for me. And
it was harder later.
It got harder as we progressed. And sometimes the coconut water helped a lot as far as feeling a little dizzy and lightheaded, but that was the worst thing, was that sometimes I was a little bit lightheaded.
So you couldn't do regular water?
Yes.
Spring water is regular.
I mean, like
it's what you call spring.
That's
called spring
Fiji.
water. Well, a better brand.
I don't know about Fiji, man. Fiji came second to Cleveland, man.
There's like 4 different types of detoxing or fasting, and I recommend at least maybe twice a year.
Twice a year. So you advise the 14-day, 14 days or 14 days?
No, the 14 days.
I'll try 7. I can't give you 14.
But it's different.
I was going to say, I think you and Charmaine should do the 30-day, which is a fruit fast.
It's fruit.
For
you still get to eat.
I could do that.
Right?
It's
In the summertime though, when it gets a little bit more warmer, so you have a bit more variety, you two should try that. Because that one, we have reversed diabetes type 1 and 2, high blood pressure, and arthritis. Just on someone having 30 days.
And cancer. Don't forget cancer, the big C.
With the fruit. With the fruit and the supplements.
All right, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you.
Thank y'all, man. Always a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks to everybody on social media who, I guess a lot of people, I'm sure, signed up to actually try the detox as well. So
Come on, ladies, get that direction.
detoxnow.com. Get your life back.
The true camel toe.
All right. All right, it's the Breakfast Club in the morning. Everybody, it's DJ, NV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get to the rumors. Let's talk Black Panther 2.
Well, looks like Black Panther 2 is a go. Definitely. They have officially confirmed the sequel over at Marvel.
Duh.
Yeah, obviously, right? And they said that it already has a very strong direction as well. So
Are they bringing back Ryan Coogler as the director, though?
I have no idea. They haven't
I would
said
hope
yet.
so.
They haven't said yet. I don't see why they wouldn't.
But Ryan may not want to come back. Ryan is one of those types. You know, he does something and then he wants to move on to something else.
That's true, too.
We'll see.
All right. Rumors are that Kendrick Lamar might be in it as a villain.
See what I'm saying?
And he obviously did the soundtrack, which was number 1 for 3 weeks in a row.
When you start seeing stuff like that, it's only a matter of time before they announce Tyler Perry as the director of Black Panther Part 2. I'm serious.
All right, so we'll keep you updated as those news reports come in. Now, Lil Pump just signed a deal with Warner, and according to reports, he is going to get an $8 million advance, and then $9,000 for the first year, and $12,000 for the second, and $15,000 for the third. It's 7 years. He's getting an $8 million advance. I guess he's trying to get as much as possible up front, because anything could happen after that.
They do deals like that. They give you $8 million up front and $9,000. You don't give you. I don't want the $9,000.
Listen, no. what's the point of that? But that's the report according.
And he signed it directly, not under Gucci, not under nobody?
He's signed to Warner.
Okay.
And so, you know, he had a contract before and it was invalid because he was a minor, 17 years old, so now it's a brand new deal.
Well, congratulations to him. What song does he sing?
Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
Oh, okay.
Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
I heard it.
Probably might have made all that from that one song already. Really? All right, Jay-Z and Beyonce, they have officially unveiled the On the Run 2 tour dates. Now, just so you know, so you can get your tickets, tickets do go on sale to the general public through livenation.com and other ticket outlets starting next Monday, March 19th. However, if you have Tidal this Wednesday, as part of the Beehive, that's tomorrow, you can also get access to a ticket pre-sale that starts at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning in the United States and 10 a.m. if you are in the UK.
That's a good date night. On the Run tour. You know what I'm saying? Go take you and your significant other. Go see a significant couple on stage performing.
All right, now Oprah, she was on Van Jones' show, and he asked her about Donald Trump, of course. And here's what she had to say, because she definitely takes the high road.
I have not spoken to President Trump since he became President Trump. The last time I saw him was we were in a restaurant, I think 2016, and there were a whole bunch of people in the restaurant, and he was at a table and I was at a table. So when you say know each other, yeah, okay.
If you had 10 minutes with him, billionaire to billionaire, megastar to megastar, and also human being to human being, what would you say to him? No cameras, no lights, just you guys.
I would only speak where I feel that I can be heard.
I ain't wasting my breath talking to people who don't listen to me.
Right.
All right. Drop one of Clues bombs for Oprah Winfrey, goddamn it.
I feel it.
And stop trying to make this Oprah for 2020 thing happening. It's not happening.
All right, Joey Badass. He has not smoked weed for over 2 months now. So the reason why is he said, I've never seen myself smoking past 21. I've been smoking every day since 16. I am now 23, so I just took the new year as an opportunity to stop. I feel 1,000 times better, focused and functional. Ain't no time to chill. It's time to make meals type of time I'm on. I feel like smoking is for older people who have worked a long time and are looking to relax. Not for young people who have a lot more to accomplish and can't afford anything slowing them down from getting to their destination. So, there you go. He feels better. All right? I'm Angela Yee, and that is your rumor report. And you know what I'm excited for? I didn't get a chance to say.
What's that?
The Bobby Brown story is going to be coming to BET as a 2-part miniseries, and it's going to come out in September.
If you've ever read Bobby Brown's book, Every Little Step, you should read it.
I
It's
read that
an
book.
amazing read.
All right.
And if they show him throwing Janet Jackson butt naked out of a hotel room, that movie will be worth watching, guys.
Shout out to Bobby Brown. All right. Well, we'll see you guys later. Revolt. Everybody else, the People's Choice Mix is up next. Let us know what you want to hear. It's the Breakfast Club.